So this is new. Hey guys, it's Adrian. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you the long-awaited Q&A video. For those of you who have missed it, the last 2 weeks I've been busy with the relaunch of my channel, with my new channel name. You can find all the information in the announcement video. But part of that relaunch was a Q&A / giveaway. I will get to the giveaway at the end of this video. But for now, we're gonna chill out here on the couch because I didn't feel like standing in front of the camera for an hour and a half or however long it's gonna take me to film this video. I've already been at it for forever. I got a bunch of questions from you, both on that video and on my Twitter. I'm gonna go through them all. I'm gonna be looking down a lot because there's a lot of questions and I'm good at remembering things, but not that good. So for any of you who know me, I need to have things a little bit neat and organized. So I've organized these questions into 2 categories. I've got personal / random questions for you, and then I've got bookish and booktube video related questions for you. So I'll leave timestamps for both of them in the description box below in case you're interested and you just want to jump ahead. To kick things off, let's start off with my most flattering question. It says, "You're over 30? I thought you were like 23. How old are you?" My wrinkles are very flattered. A woman never tells, but let's just say you're off by about a decade. How many kids do you have? I have 2. My oldest is Michaela, aka Kaylee. She is 9, and my youngest is Aubrey, and she is 7. And the following question is your visual impairment something that they can inherit? For those of you who don't know, I did a couple videos about being legally blind. I did one about being a legally blind YouTuber, and I did one tag video, which was a couple weeks ago, called the VIP tag, the visually impaired persons tag, and it talks all about the fact that I do have a visual impairment. If you want to know more about that, go check out that video. I can't get into it too much because this video will be really long. But yes, I have checked to see if my kids could inherit my visual impairment or my condition because it's a little more complicated than just being visually impaired. And generally speaking, the answer to that would be no, but they can't really be sure because there's so few of us with this condition. But as far as they can tell, no, it's not genetic, so they couldn't inherit it. I did think about that really long and hard before we decided to have kids, but there was actually even the question of if I could have kids, so I was more concerned with the if than the what if you catch my drift. To make a long story short, I was told that they probably wouldn't inherit it, and they didn't. As far as we can tell, as of now, they're perfectly fine. They have no hormone deficiencies, they've got no visual impairments, so it looks like they got lucky. The next 2 questions I'm going to answer together because they're pretty much the same, and it's, did you move to the Netherlands? And the second one was, did you move to the Netherlands to be with your husband, or did you meet him there after you moved? I moved to the Netherlands for a lot of reasons. Before I actually decided to move here, I had been here a couple times, and I really fell in love with the country because it gave me, being a visually impaired person, a lot of freedom. Everybody travels with public transportation. There's no real need for a car in the Netherlands. Everything's really close by, so I could be really independent. I was also getting ready to go into my senior year of college, and I wanted to do my last year here because one of the schools that I was looking into was developing an English-speaking program, and they were looking for English-speaking people, and I happened to be one, and I love the country, so it all worked out. I did know my husband before I moved here because, like I said, I had been here a couple times. But when I got here, I wasn't really interested in any kind of relationship. I was only 20. I needed to do a little bit of growing up and finding myself first. So I moved to the Netherlands all for those reasons. And no, I didn't move to the Netherlands to be with my husband. We started dating after I moved here, about a year after I moved here. What's one place that you would love to travel or visit? Actually, that would be Scotland and Ireland. When I was a teenager thinking about the possibility of traveling to Europe, maybe moving to Europe someday, I always had Ireland or Scotland in mind. And so I always tell people now I made it to the Netherlands because I just kind of missed on the map a little bit by a couple 100 kilometers, and I still haven't been there. When you live in Europe, everything is relatively close together. At least in this part of Europe where I live, you have like Belgium is like 3 hours away, Germany's 3 hours away, France is like 4 hours away, and so you can get anywhere pretty quickly. And still I haven't been to Ireland. Why? Because it rains a lot in Ireland. Everybody in the Netherlands is sick of the rain, so nobody ever wants to go with me. What is your second biggest hobby, assuming that books and booktube are your first? I've got couple. I don't know if I could pick a second one. I do a lot of musical theater, but that's sort of volunteer work. I mean, I guess it's a hobby. I also like to bake a lot, so I'm a baker, although I haven't been baking quite so much lately because it's been too hot. So I was at either acting / writing musical theaters or baking. So I guess it's kind of neck and neck. I don't know. I can't really pick one. Favorite 5 movies. Guys, I should have thought about these before I sat down to film this. Favorite 5 movies. Let's see. Deadpool. I like Deadpool. Annabelle's Wish. I talked about that in a couple of my Christmas tags. It's a Christmas movie. Really beautiful. Rigoletto is another of my childhood favorites, so that's 3. Bad Moms would be 4. And number 5. Let me think. What would number 5 be? Harry Potter, I guess? I don't know. I don't know what number 5 is, but I'm gonna go with Harry Potter because, well, why not? How many languages do you speak? I speak 2. I speak English and I speak Dutch. And before anybody asks, no, Dutch was not easy to learn. It was actually very difficult. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be and why? This is a tough one. I probably would change the fact that my eyes move so much. I don't think change my visual impairment because I'm kind of happy the way that I am. I can sort of impact a lot of people, I think. I like to think that I can help a lot of people. But I don't like that my eyes move so much because it's really hard to focus on things, and making eye contact when I'm talking with people is difficult sometimes. I've talked all about this before. Looking in the camera especially is really difficult. My eyes tend to wander this way. So that probably would be, that's the only thing that I'm really self-conscious about myself about, and unfortunately I can't change it, or I would have changed it a long time ago. So if I could change something about myself, it would probably be that. This one's really cool. If you could build a treehouse, what features would you need? I.e. a slide. You mean besides the library? Because I would need a couple bookshelves with some books. But besides the library, if I were to build a treehouse, it would be like next to a river or some kind of water with something beautiful with a view. And so I would need like a rope or a vine, like a swinging vine, so I could swing from my reading hideout treehouse into the water, freshen up, get nice and cool, and then obviously I would need a ladder to climb back up to the treehouse because you girl can't climb trees. So it would need a vine and a ladder. Moving into the bookish booktube questions, first up is, how would you say your reading taste has changed over the years? I would have to say it's definitely grown. Like, I can appreciate more types of genres, and I think that this comes a lot from my quarterly reading challenges because I push myself to read more than my comfort zone, which is the YA and high fantasy. I like a lot of YA high fantasy. And so because of my quarterly reading challenges, I've gotten into more science fiction books, which I actually really enjoy, especially like the parallel universe ones. And I've gotten into more contemporary books, which surprisingly I am enjoying as well. I've read a couple bad ones that you'll hear about in my next video, but I've read a couple of really good ones. So I think I've grown. I've also learned to read more critically, not necessarily with criticism in mind, like not author bashing. I don't like author bashing. If you author bash, shame on you. But I've learned to develop my own opinions about things. We're all entitled to our own opinions and not so much go with the mainstream opinions. So I think I've grown as a reviewer especially. But if I could summarize all that into one solid answer, I would probably have to say I've grown up a lot in my reading. What kind of videos do you like to film the most? I really like filming vlogs. I think they're really fun. I just don't have an interesting life, so I don't really vlog very much because who wants to follow me around all day? I like doing the reading vlogs. I loved doing Vlogmas this year. I will definitely be doing Vlogmas next year, even though I kind of feel like Vlogmas is cursed for me. But I will be doing it again this year. I love doing the vlogs. I like showing you like pieces of my country especially because I've noticed a lot of my viewers come from English-speaking countries, and so to see other people's countries, I love seeing that personally, like walking around with people who live in Spain or Italy or wherever they live and seeing their country and how they do things. I really enjoy that. I also really like doing the videos where I talk about my visual impairment. I know I've mentioned that a couple times already, but it's something new that I've been doing, and surprisingly enough, those are my most viewed videos. So I feel like I should maybe be doing them a little bit more because I feel like they help people. I like reading books and talking about books, don't get me wrong, that's my favorite thing to do, and this will always be a booktube channel as far as I can tell. But I like the idea that those types of videos help other people get through whatever it is they're going through. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying by any means that booktube videos are unimportant or have no depth, because there are plenty of books that have depth that I like to talk about on my channel, but I feel like those are just a little bit different, you know what I mean? I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for this, but so those, I like to make the vlog videos, and I like to make the more personal, chatty videos about being visually impaired or other life issues that I haven't actually touched on yet in this channel, but that's the answer for that question. That was a very long-winded answer. Next up is, what fictional characters would you want in your book club? I'm gonna go with Ellen from the Mistborn series. I'm looking at my bookshelves over here trying to think about this one because he's quite intelligent, very philosophical, and I feel like we'd have some really good discussions. And probably Will and Tessa from the, what's it called? Infernal Devices. Tessa because she's more refined, and Will because he's just sarcastic and he would be funny. But I don't know, that was a really difficult question. I didn't expect that one to be so tough. Do you read manga or watch anime? If so, which ones? I actually don't. mostly because I don't really know where to start and I don't know if I would actually like it, so I don't want to buy one. If you've got any suggestions for me, anybody, leave it down below and maybe I can see if my library has them. But no, I don't. Are bookshelves more or less expensive in Europe than in the United States? I actually don't know the answer to this question, to be quite honest. I assume that they're about the same. I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of store you buy them from. If you buy them from a thrift store opposed to a high-end furniture store, it's going to make a big difference. The bookshelves that I have that you've seen in all my other videos are the typical bookshelves that every booktuber has, and they're the ones from IKEA, and I'm pretty sure that they're the same price everywhere. You don't quote me on that because I don't know. I don't go shopping anywhere else but in the Netherlands, so I don't really know, but I'm assuming they're around the same price. They don't differ that much, I would think. Did you design your own logo? It's beautiful. Oh, thank you. Actually, I did, sort of. I had this idea of a logo that I wanted to have. I knew that I wanted to have the white feather. I knew that I wanted to have some more color in my logo as opposed to just the Starry Nights with the letters. So I made a mock logo, and then my husband and I worked on our logo, my logo together. So I didn't make it myself, I made it together with my husband, and it turned out lovely, if I do say so myself. One book that everyone is talking about that you really want to read. That's easy. That would be The Kiss Quotient. I have been dying to read this book. Everybody's been talking about it, and I'm not even a huge contemporary fan, but the idea of this book sounds so intriguing to me. I can't wait. As soon as it comes in the mail, I will be dropping everything that I'm reading, and I will be reading this book, and hopefully I can fly through it. Hopefully it's as great as everybody says it is, because I'm just ready. I'm ready. What's one book that everybody's talking about that you don't want to read? This one isn't necessarily a new book, so it's not like everybody's talking about it now, but people have been talking about it a lot, and that's The Raven Boys Quartet by Maggie Seawater. I'm just not really interested in this one. I don't know why. I don't think it's a bad book. Everybody seems to be loving them, the whole series, but I'm not really interested in it. I may give it a go at some point on audio because they are all available to me for free on audiobook, so I might try at some point if I get bored, but I don't really feel the need to read them. Top 5 favorite authors. Another one of these top 5 things that I haven't really thought about. I'm gonna have to go with Jay Kristoff. Let's see, Brandon Sanderson. Colleen Hoover. I'm gonna go with Victoria Schwab. And one more, let me think. I think I'm gonna go with Judy P. Cole. Not because she is the best author in my opinion, but I've been reading her the longest, probably since I was a teenager. So she's got this special place in my heart. So those are my top 5 authors. If your house was burning down and you only had time to save one book, what would it be? Oh God. The Velveteen Rabbit. I would say The Velveteen Rabbit because it is very nostalgic. I have several copies of The Velveteen Rabbit on top of my bookshelf. You can see them in any of my bookshelf stores. But if I had to grab one book, that's what it would be because it's important to me. If you could rewrite any of your favorite books, what would you do to it? I don't know that they would. I mean, if they're my favorite books, I don't think that they need to be rewritten. But after I thought about this for a while, I came up with The Dream Giver, which is a book that I talk a lot about on my channel, which is where my channel name came from. It is a very simplistic parable about getting a dream from the dream giver and going out and accomplishing that dream. But there's not like a complex story to it. It's not meant to be a complex story. It's meant to be a parable. It's very simple. But I could go through and make that like this whole adventure just more kind of like an actual story rather than a parable. That could be kind of fun. So that would probably be my answer. If I could rewrite any of my favorite books, I probably would rewrite The Dream Giver, even though it is my favorite book and there's nothing wrong with it the way that it is. It just could be fun. That's it for all the questions that I got this time around. If you have other burning curiosities, you can always leave a comment down below with more questions and I can put them aside for a Q&A video at some other points. But now for the part I'm sure you've all been waiting for, the giveaway. In the giveaway announcement, I've got 10 entries for the giveaway. The best way that I thought I could do this is to ask Siri on camera, pick a number 1 to 10, and then I'll go through the comments video and figure out which number that one is. Pick a number 1 to 10.
It's 2.
2. Let's see. Who is number 2? 1, 2. James from Happy Elephant Books. Congratulations, James. You can either send me an email or DM me on Twitter. All the information is in the description box below with your mailing address and a link or links to the books that you'd like me to send to you up to $15 worth at Book Depository, and I will be more than happy to send them to you. I'm so excited! That wraps it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I just wanted to thank you all so much for joining me on this whole relaunch journey. I have had so much fun. As of today, I'm going back to my Tuesday and Saturday schedule. I may be changing that that in the future, by the way. I haven't quite decided, but when I do, I'll let you know. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have not yet, I'd love for you to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you Tuesday. Bye.